with practiced precision, implementing protections that even the most determined corporate saboteurs couldn't breach. This was her fourth major security innovation in 2 years, and yet she remained in the same windowless office on the 42nd floor, invisible to the company's leadership. 29 years old, with 2 advanced degrees in quantum encryption and a mind that could visualize multidimensional security matrices, Maya had expected her career to follow a different trajectory. But Astral's CEO, Drake Valmont, had never once acknowledged her contributions, personally, despite reports crossing his desk monthly, detailing how her systems had saved the company millions. Maya sighed, checking the time, nearly midnight again. She stretched her arms above her head, feeling the tension in her shoulders from hours hunched over the display. The office had emptied hours ago, leaving her alone with the soft hum of the building's environmental systems and her own thoughts. Her communication panel chimed with an incoming message, Priority Level Alpha, from Astral's executive division. She blinked in surprise. Messages from that office never came to her directly. Opening the notification, Maya's heart rate accelerated as she read the contents. The Lyrian delegation, Earth's first official contact with the technologically advanced alien species, would be arriving at Astral's headquarters tomorrow morning. Drake Valmont had personally requested her to join the security detail. The Lyrians had made contact 3 years ago, their massive ships appearing near Jupiter's orbit, broadcasting messages of peace and scientific exchange. After extensive diplomatic negotiations, this would be the first Lyrian delegation to visit a private corporation on Earth. The implications for technological advancement were staggering. Maya wondered why Drake had selected her. Perhaps someone had finally shown him her security innovations, or more likely, someone else had declined the assignment, leaving her the only available option. Regardless, this was an opportunity she couldn't ignore. The next morning, Maya arrived early, her dark hair pulled back in its usual practical style, her standard Astral security uniform freshly pressed, excitement and nervousness in her stomach as she reviewed the delegation's security parameters. The Lyrians were reportedly humanoid, but with significant biological differences, their skin varying shades of purple, their sensory capabilities beyond human range, their technological advancement approximately 3 centuries beyond Earth's current level. They were peaceful explorers, primarily interested in cultural and scientific exchange. The security team gathered in the lobby of Astral's towering headquarters. The CEO's private elevator descended, revealing Drake Valmont himself. Tall, imposing in his perfectly tailored suit, his dark blonde hair artfully styled, his green eyes sharp as they scanned the assembled team. Maya had seen him in person only twice in her years at Astral, both times from a distance. Drake's gaze passed over her without pausing as he addressed the head of security. Standard protocol, maximum respect, no recording devices without explicit permission. Remember, they can apparently sense emotional states, so maintain professional composure at all times. The Lyrian transport arrived precisely on schedule, landing on Astral's private rooftop pad. Maya positioned herself near the entrance, as instructed, monitoring the security systems through her neural implant. Everything functioning perfectly as the delegation emerged from their vessel. 4 Lyrians appeared, their height similar to humans, but their movements more fluid, almost musical in their precision. Maya's breath caught as she observed their purple skin, ranging from deep violet to lighter lavender tones, shifting with subtle iridescence in the morning sunlight. Their features elegant, with large eyes in shades of silver and gold. The tallest Lyrian stepped forward, greeting Drake with a formal gesture that had been explained in their diplomatic briefs. "I am Ambassador Valen. We appreciate your welcome to your facility." Drake responded with practiced charm. "Astral Technologies is honored to host the Lyrian delegation. We look forward to productive discussions." As the formal introductions continued, Maya remained focused on her security monitoring, until she noticed one of the Lyrians looking directly at her, not through her as humans typically did, but at her with curious intensity. This Lyrian was slender, with skin the color of twilight violet, eyes unlike the others, silver gold, that seemed to shimmer with their own light. Maya felt a strange sensation, like a gentle touch against her consciousness, before the Lyrian tilted their head in what appeared to be recognition. The Lyrian moved toward her with graceful steps, approaching even as Drake continued speaking with the ambassador. "I am Nyx, scientific advisor to the delegation," the Lyrian said in perfect English, though with a musical quality that human vocal cords couldn't produce. "You maintain the protective systems of this facility." Maya blinked, surprised to be addressed. "I do, yes, among other responsibilities. I'm Maya Reed, security specialist." "Your emotional patterns are fascinating," Nyx said, their voice lowered. "The others do not see you, though you are essential to their safety." Before Maya could respond, Drake appeared beside them, his expression carefully neutral but his eyes cold. "Scientific advisor, Nyx. I see you've met one of our security team." "Not just security," Nyx corrected, "your systems architect. The patterns of this building's protection bear her unique signature." Drake's gaze shifted to Maya, as if truly seeing her for the first time, his expression unreadable. "Indeed, Ms. Reed has been with Astral for some time, though I wasn't aware her work was so immediately recognizable." Nyx's silver-gold eyes met Maya's again. "Human perception is limited to physical wavelengths. We perceive the emotional resonance of creation. The security barriers around this facility carry your distinct pattern, as unique as genetic coding." Maya felt heat rise to her cheeks, unused to such direct recognition, especially in front of Drake Valmont, who now studied her with newfound interest. The ambassador called for Nyx, who inclined her head toward Maya before rejoining the delegation, leaving Maya with the strange sensation that for the first time in years, someone had actually seen her, truly seen beyond her physical presence to something deeper. As the group moved toward the conference facilities, Drake paused beside Maya. "Ms. Reed, perhaps you would be willing to personally escort scientific advisor Nyx during their visit, since they seem particularly interested in your security systems." "Of course, sir," Maya replied professionally, though her pulse quickened at the opportunity. Drake's eyes narrowed slightly. "Good," he said. "The Lyrians are essential to Astral's future. Ensure that scientific advisor Nyx receives our fullest cooperation." As Maya watched Drake follow the delegation, she couldn't help wondering what had changed. Why, after years of invisibility, she suddenly warranted the CEO's attention. But more intriguing was the question of how Nyx had recognized her work, how the purple-skinned visitor had somehow seen what no one else had bothered to notice. Unexpected connections. The research wing of Astral Technologies sprawled across 3 floors of the gleaming headquarters building, with specialized laboratories dedicated to various technological innovations. Maya led Nyx through security checkpoints that automatically recognized her biometric signature, doors sliding open silently before them. "I designed these systems 2 years ago," Maya explained, as they passed through another scanner. "My specialty is creating security that protects without impeding workflow. Most people don't even notice the layers of protection around them." "Much like they do not notice you," Nyx observed, their twilight purple skin shifting slightly with subtle iridescent patterns that Maya was beginning to recognize as expressions of interest. "Yet your patterns are present everywhere in this building." Maya slowed her pace, glancing at the Lyrian with curiosity. "You mentioned patterns before. What exactly do you mean?" Nyx's silver-gold eyes studied her. "Humans primarily perceive through physical, auditory, and tactile senses. Lyrians have additional perceptual abilities, what you might call empathic resonance. We sense the emotional and intellectual imprints left on creations. We feel the echo of the creator." "So you can tell I designed these systems by what, feeling them?" "Not merely the systems," Nyx clarified. "Your presence echoes throughout this facility. Your dedication, concern, attention to detail, protection without constraint. Your emotional signature is distinctive, yet the humans here walk past without recognition. Fascinating." Maya felt strangely exposed, yet understood in a way she'd never experienced. "Your people can all do this." Nyx tilted her head in that characteristic gesture. "To varying degrees, some merely sense current emotional states. Others, like myself, perceive deeper patterns, imprints left over time, historical resonance. They continued through the quantum computing division, where researchers paused to stare at the purple-skinned visitor before returning to their work. Nick's observing everything with calm curiosity, asking insightful questions that revealed advanced understanding of technologies humans considered cutting edge. What is it like, Maya found herself asking, as they entered a private research garden with artificial sunlight streaming through crystalline panels, illuminating exotic plants from various worlds, to perceive emotions so directly? Nix considered the question.
Competing attentions. The diplomatic reception sparkled with calculated opulence. Astral Technology's grand atrium transformed into a showcase of Earth culture, with subtle accommodations for Lyrian's sensory preferences. Crystalline light structures cast gentle illumination across the gathering of corporate executives, government officials, and the Lyrian delegation. Maya stood near the edge of the room, her standard uniform replaced by formal attire selected by Astral's Public Relations Department. A midnight blue dress that complemented her dark hair and olive skin. Drake had insisted on her attendance, not as security, but as an honored guest, a transformation that left her feeling both flattered and suspicious. 7 weeks had passed since the Lyrians' arrival. 7 weeks of daily interactions with Nix as they explored security applications for Lyrian technology, sharing insights across cultural divides. 7 weeks of gradually becoming visible within Astral's hierarchy as Drake Valmont suddenly discovered her existence. Maya's reflection in the crystalline column beside her revealed a woman she barely recognized, styled, polished, presented as someone significant, when just weeks ago she had been overlooked entirely. "You appear uncomfortable with your visibility," a familiar musical voice observed. Maya turned to find Nix approaching, their purple skin luminescent under the reception lighting, wearing flowing garments of silver material that seemed to capture and reflect light in impossible patterns. "Is it that obvious?" Maya asked with a small smile. Nix moved beside her, their presence creating that now familiar sense of calm connection. "I sense your discomfort with attention. After prolonged invisibility, adjustment requires time." Across the room, Maya noticed Drake watching them, his expression professionally pleasant, though his eyes remained calculating. Over the past weeks, he had integrated her into high-level meetings, requested her presence at executive functions, and personally introduced her to Astral's board members as our Lyrian technology specialist. "I'm not used to being seen," Maya admitted. "And now I'm not sure if I'm being seen for myself or just as a connection to your delegation." Nix's skin rippled with patterns Maya had learned indicated thoughtful consideration. "Drake Valmont recognized your value only when reflected through external assessment, a common human limitation. But his recognition doesn't define your worth." Before Maya could respond, Drake appeared beside them, his timing impeccable as always. "Scientific advisor Nix, I hope you're enjoying our reception," he said, charm personified. "I see Ms. Reed has been taking good care of you." Nix inclined their head in the formal Lyrian greeting. "Maya has been an exceptional guide to your world, both technologically and culturally. Our collaboration has been most productive." Drake placed his hand lightly on Maya's bare shoulder, his touch warm and somehow proprietary. "Maya and I have discussed expanding her role within Astral, perhaps heading a new division focused on Lyrian human security integration." The suggestion was news to Maya, who carefully maintained her professional expression despite her surprise. Such collaboration requires trust, Nix noted, their silver-gold eyes moving between Maya and Drake's hand still resting on her. Maya's security architecture is built on respect for autonomous movement within protected parameters, an admirable philosophy. Drake's smile remained fixed, but his fingers tightened slightly on Maya's shoulder. Indeed, which is why I've personally ensured she receives proper recognition for her contributions. Something in Nix's expression shifted subtly. Recognition is meaningful only when it acknowledges true value, not strategic advantage. The subtle rebuke hung in the air for a moment before Drake smoothly changed the subject, directing the conversation toward the official announcement of Astral's partnership with the Lyrian delegation. Maya remained quiet, observing the delicate power dynamic between the two, noting how Drake consistently positioned himself between her and Nix, as though establishing territorial boundaries. Later, as the reception continued, Maya found a moment of respite on the observation deck, the transparent dome offering unobstructed views of the night sky where distant stars glimmered above the city lights. "You seek solitude amid celebration," Nix's voice came softly as they joined her at the railing. Maya smiled, recognizing the Lyrian's presence without turning. "I needed a moment to breathe. Everything is happening so quickly." Nix moved beside her, their gaze following hers to the stars above. "On our world, we have a concept, Tanari, the calm center within transformation, the point of stillness when everything changes." "That's exactly what I need," Maya said with a small laugh. "Everything in my life is shifting. My position at Astral, how people see me, how I see myself. It's disorienting." "Do you regret our meeting?" Nix asked, their voice containing harmonics Maya had learned indicated vulnerability. "Never," Maya said immediately, turning to face the Lyrian. "Meeting you is the most genuine thing that's happened to me in years. Everything else feels calculated, but this," she gestured between them, "feels real." Nix's skin illuminated with patterns expressing emotion too complex for human language, their hand moving to hover near Maya's, not quite touching. "May I show you something of my world?" "Yes," Maya whispered. Nix's fingers gently touched her temple, and suddenly Maya was seeing through different eyes, a binary star system casting dual shadows across crystalline spires, cities built in harmony with natural formations, colors beyond Earth's spectrum, mathematics expressed as music vibrating through communal spaces. And beneath it all, the constant awareness of emotional resonance, connections between beings visible as tangible patterns. When the vision faded, Maya found tears on her cheeks, Nix's hand now cradling her face with infinite gentleness. "That's beautiful," she whispered. "Your world." "It is why we explore," Nix said softly. "To find connections beyond our understanding, to discover patterns that complement our own." Their faces were close now, Maya aware of every detail of Nix's features, the subtle iridescence of their purple skin, the depth in their silver-gold eyes, the gentle curve of their mouth, so similar to human anatomy, yet distinctly different. "I've never felt understood before," Maya admitted. "Not until you." Nix's thumb traced a gentle path along her cheekbone. "Understanding flows both ways. I have learned much from your perspective. Your patterns have become significant to me." The moment stretched between them, charged with possibility. Maya found herself leaning closer, drawn to Nix in ways that transcended physical attraction or intellectual compatibility. Something deeper, more fundamental, like complementary frequencies finally finding resonance. The sound of the observation deck door sliding open broke the moment. Drake stood in the entrance, his expression unreadable as he observed them. "There you are, Maya. The board members were asking for you. Nix, I believe Ambassador Valen was looking for you as well." Nix stepped back, their purple skin patterns shifting to neutral diplomacy. "Of course, thank you for informing us." As Nix departed with a final glance at Maya, Drake remained, his gaze assessing. "You seem quite taken with our Lyrian visitor." "They understand things others don't see," Maya replied, carefully. Drake moved closer, his height imposing in the limited space. "I see considerably more than you might think, Maya, including the way scientific advisor Nix looks at you." The use of her first name didn't escape Maya's notice, nor the subtle emphasis on looks. "I'm simply doing my job as liaison." Drake's smile didn't reach his eyes as he tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, his touch lingering. "You've become quite valuable to Astral. Your insights on the Lyrian security protocols have impressed everyone I've mentioned. I've mentioned your name for the director position in our new division." The offer dangled between them, a culmination of everything Maya had worked for.